Hey, good Friday to you. It's time once again for RFD Illinois. I'm DeLoss Yankee.
I'm Rita Frazier, and yes, it is Friday.
I made the comment yesterday when I started the show that it was 8 months to Christmas, which is a silly thing to say, I know, but, you know, it's just amazing, as at least in my experience, as you get older, just how much faster this time goes by.
When you say that when you get older, you know that I'm older than you, so you always like to give it, stick it.
We might have different experiences on that, but it certainly seems like the time is just going too quickly.
And with this rain coming every other day, we need something to take our mind off of that.
We do.
Kinda.
I was talking to Dan Hicks, and he'll have an updated forecast later, that it just seems like more and more, especially in southern Illinois, with no need for rain whatsoever, and it just keeps coming every couple of days or so.
Well, and, you know, we hate to always talk about mushrooms, but getting a couple pictures, that's one good thing about the moist conditions out there. Mushroom crops,
oh my gosh, it'd be a bumper crop, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, well, we got some pictures from my sister's place, but with mushrooms come ticks.
Oh.
We talked about poison ivy. We talked, but you know, and for them, I feel like they should go and find them, get the ticks and poison ivy, and then share the mushrooms. And
then you look at what might come about this weekend. There's a likelihood of some snow, and it could reach northern Illinois as well. Hopefully, it'll stay north, but it's in the cards at least. Plenty to come here on a Friday, RFD Illinois.
RFD Radio Network's DeLoss Yankee connects rural routes for you. DeLoss delivers essential farm and food-related news to our listeners. His witty voice has been heard on the air for more than 2 decades. Here's a bit about his rural roots.
Growing up on a farm prepared me for my career. I try to know a little about a lot of things and let the people I interview be the experts. I've always wanted to be on the radio. I'm just happy to do what I enjoy.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
Farm, family, food. Those 3 words best describe Illinois Farm Bureau. Farm. For 100 years, Farm Bureau in Illinois has represented and served the men and women who make Illinois one of the top food-producing states. Family. At the heart of rural Illinois are traditional farm families who work together through Illinois Farm Bureau. And food. Farm Bureau families are proud to grow the healthy food they provide their families and yours. Farm, family, food. The heart of Farm Bureau in Illinois.
Country Financial has been protecting farms like yours for over 90 years. And while our values remain the same, our technology has advanced alongside you. Our free Country Crop mobile app lets you conveniently view policy documents and file or track a claim. And we've made sure our tools work with your precision ag technology, allowing you to easily upload your planting and harvesting data. Learn more at countrycrop.com. Policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. This entity is an equal opportunity provider.
We're back here on RFD Illinois. I'm Rita Frazier. An historic U.S.-China trade deal appears just weeks away, but the chairman of the U.S. Senate committee that handles trade says tariff relief won't come all at once. RFD Washington correspondent Matt Kay reports.
Senate Finance Chair Chuck Grassley says the expected deal will be a huge boost for U.S. farmers, but won't mean an end to punishing tariffs right away.
And it involves periodic reductions of tariffs, both on the part of the United States and China, at roughly the same time when they're shown and proof of good faith carrying out of the agreement. And it would probably be done in tranches. Over how long of a period of time, I don't know, but there won't be a 100% reduction of tariffs on the day that the agreement's signed.
Grassley says he expects to be briefed in more detail in coming days, but acknowledges what is known so far, that the deal's enforceability is based partly on tariffs that snap back if China breaks its word. The chairman says there's a history of that, citing a recent WTO ruling against China's tariff rate quotas and other barriers to U.S. farm exports.
I'm very happy about the outcome. And I look forward to the Trump administration holding China accountable. President Trump has rightly pointed out for years that China is cheating. And this case is more proof of that cheating.
Grassley says China's trade barriers cost U.S. producers some $3.5 billion in lost export sales in 2015 alone. Grassley says he told the Chinese while visiting China last year that he regrets his vote nearly 20 years ago to admit China to the World Trade Organization. For the RFD Radio Network, Matt Kay, Washington.
Thanks, Matt. Well, in talking trade about the livestock industry and moving products so important, Tony Dunker, Advanced Trading.
We need to export this product out of this country because we do have ample supplies right now. The cold storage report showed, we're not backing up anything, but obviously we've got a good supply of meat in this country. And for our markets to be able to sustain where we're at right now, we're going to have to continue to export that product out of this country as well. So I think from a trade perspective, as soon as we can get some of this trade ironed out, not only with China, but also with Mexico, with Japan, all of those places are very important to us when it comes to export markets for livestock.
Tony Dunker, Advanced Trading, as she explained to us yesterday in the RFD Livestock Report. Also this week on the Livestock Report, we checked in with Dave Leidy with Total Livestock Services, serving that south central portion of the state. We got an update on forage.
So we were right on the borderline of getting some of the early season crops cut. There was just a little bit of rye that was mowed, that was put up in the wet bales. Unfortunately, there was some rye mowed in the last few days that now has gotten rained on. So we'll have to figure out the best way to handle that crop. So the early spring crops are right there ready for the taking. The concerning thing to me, Rita, as you walk through some of the alfalfa fields, is we had a lot of heaving. We lost a lot of plant populations in the alfalfa fields in the areas that I cover. So we're going to definitely see lower tons in the alfalfa field. So we're talking a lot now with the producers that I work with about what's our strategy now. Do we need to buy some cover crop rye from a neighbor, to fill in that void as far as the tons that'll be missing? Do we need to interseed some BMR sorghum sedan grass after first cutting alfalfa to make sure that we maintain our tons per acre so we don't have to buy forage? So those are some of the things that we're talking about right now on what kind of strategy are we going to have for the spring and summer of 2019.
Dairy and beef specialist Dave Leidy with Total Livestock Services. More with Dave on the Livestock Report later today. Meanwhile, 4F's Report is next with DeLoss. This is RFD Illinois.
Spring is here and things are buzzing. Farmers and pollinators are working together to help feed us. In fact, 1 out of every 3 bites of food we eat exists because of bees, butterflies, birds, bats, and other insects. Pollinators are important to our food system and the ecosystem overall. That's why farmers and those in the agricultural industry are working together to protect pollinators through education, research, and conservation efforts. Visit ILAGformonarchs.org to join the buzz. That's ILAGformonarchs.org.
What's the excitement about buying a brand new car when you pay full price for it? County Farm Bureau members have a reason to be excited. A Farm Bureau membership gives you 2 car purchase discounts. When members buy a new Ford vehicle, they receive $500 off their purchase. And with a purchase of a qualifying Lincoln vehicle, they receive $750 off. Everyone loves a good deal, and the money saved is worth the price of our annual membership. This is just one of our 300,000 plus discounts that are always changing to fit our members' needs. Not a Farm Bureau member? Visit Illinois Farm Bureau online and join today.
This is your RFD Radio Network 4F's Report. Fuel, fertilizer, feed, and food. All sources of essential energy. Here's DeLoss Yankee.
Talking fuel today and the continuing increase of regular fuel at the pump. Harry Cooney, Gromark Energy Risk Management. The last 4F's report in March, the national average price was $2.68 a gallon, which was 27 cents higher than February. And we've gone up another 20, $2.88 a gallon, so almost 50 cents in 2 months. Should be around the time for a top, though, Cooney says.
You look at the ag commodities, and we know what the grains have been doing on the weaker side, obviously. And then you look at our energy markets, and they're just opposite. Mm-hmm. They've been going up. We have markets that are just about as overbought on the energy side as the grain markets are oversold.
Wow.
So the dollar hasn't really had a big impact. Normally, when you think of the dollar going up, you would normally think of commodities in general, including energies, going down. Well, so far at least, the liquid fuel market has not been selling off yet. So we'll have to watch and see in the coming couple of weeks, because here's why I say it. Now, this is kind of interesting stuff. There's a seasonal price study that would suggest that liquid fuel prices go up from about, sometimes usually it starts sometime between Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day, but that seasonal tends to peak out by about the last week in April. So if you look at where we're at now, we're right in that window when it normally tends to peak out. Now, what does the seasonal do for the rest of the year? Well, it sets back into May, and sometimes it sets back into June. And then at times, though, the liquid fuel market goes a little higher into fall, like diesel fuel, for example. And it's just the history, just the historical. The seasonal is just showing your history of the last 3 or 5 years. But it tends to peak out in here pretty soon. So you can't call this a top in the market, but you can definitely say that its conditions are favorable for some type of a peak in the energy market.
Why does it peak before the start of the summer driving season?
Well, you build up on the anticipation. It's kind of like buy the rumor and sell the fact. It's kind of like buy gas when they're not driving on the anticipation they are going to be driving. And then many past years, if you look at some gas pump prices, they will peak out closer to Memorial Day to June rather than the 4th of July or Labor Day. And so they tend to peak out a little bit early, and that shows some of that seasonality also.
Harry Cooney also says keep an eye out on what propane market has been doing.
We've already been locking some in. In fact, the team here in the office has bought 3 times, 10% each time, and they've hit nearly the lows. We were just in a meeting yesterday looking at that. So so end users should start looking at what they want to lock in for fall and for winter needs. And don't forget the summer fill programs that their FS cooperatives will have throughout the summer here. That's usually some of the best fills because prices are depressed in the summertime.
Harry Cooney, Growmark Energy Risk Management. While regular fuel has gone up quite a bit in recent months, diesel's held fairly steady, $3.09 according to AAA for a national average is 4 cents more than a year ago. About a dime more than 2 months ago. E85 price is $2.45. And in Illinois, the average regular price is $2.99, 25 cents more than a month ago, 11.5 more than last year. Diesel $2.95 is a penny more than a year ago, 4 cents more than last month. Other states for regular: Missouri $2.59, 40 cents less than us. Kentucky $2.73, as well as Iowa. Wisconsin $2.83, and Indiana $2.91 per gallon.
That's this week's 4F's report. Tune in next week for all of the latest fuel, fertilizer, feed, and food trends and essential energy information.
Well, certainly a reminder yesterday to be cautious at all times during spring fieldwork season. More than a couple dozen people were hospitalized due to inhalation issues after reportedly an anhydrous ammonia leak from containers being pulled by a tractor going through the Chicago suburbs. So suburbs or out in the open or anywhere, certainly be cautious this and every fieldwork season. Also in the news yesterday, the economic uncertainty in Argentina, where its peso hit a fresh lifetime low, is now the world's worst currency. We talked about that earlier in the day yesterday with Dale Dirkholz, senior analyst at AgriVisor.
This is the forward curve on the peso. Right now we're at about 45. You go out into March of 2020, the forward futures on the pesos at 67 pesos to the dollar compared to today 40 pesos to the dollar, or 45 pesos to the dollar.
Oh my God.
What's the faith in the Argentine economy? None, nil.
Dale Dirkholz at AgriVisor. We talked with him and Mike Doherty at Illinois Farm Bureau yesterday on RFD Today about several economic issues, and we'll certainly follow what the peso means for Argentine and U.S. soybeans in the near future. Walmart made news earlier this week announcing it's taking control of its beef supply chain. Wednesday announcing a move that would allow it to ensure supplies of quality Angus beef and meet consumer demand who want to know where the meat came from as well. They have arranged to source cattle from a Texas rancher Prime Pursuits, and 44 farms selling the retailer Angus beef, and by doing so, Walmart will avoid processors. We saw what happened a couple of years ago when they announced they were doing that for dairy as well, and had a big impact on some Midwestern dairies when they developed their own supply chain. Latest actions are expected to target younger consumers who are looking for more transparency in food production. Early stages of the plan are to put it in about 500 stores in the Southeast, places like Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. And despite hitting a 2.5-month high, the number of people filing for unemployment benefits is still near historic lows. The unemployment rate remains 3.8%. A break for markets and weather.
With the RFD Ag Market Summary for this Friday morning, I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and wheat all ending Thursday higher. May corn closing at $3.47.5, up 3/4. July corn up 1 1/4, $3.57 1/4, and September corn $3.65.5, up 1 1/4. May beans closing at $8.59 1/4, up 4. July beans up 4, $8.72 3/4. August beans $8.78 3/4, up 4. May wheat closing at $4.34 3/4, up 2 1/2. July wheat up 3. $4.41 1/2, and September wheat up 3 1/4, $4.49 1/4. May bean meal $3.06 even, up 5.60. May bean oil $27.64, down 28 cents. In current electronic overnight trading, May corn is up 1 1/4. July corn up a penny. September corn up a penny, $3.66 1/2. May beans in the overnight down 3 1/4. July beans down 3 1/4, and August beans down 3 1/2, $8.75 1/4. May wheat in the overnight up 1 1/2. July wheat up a penny. September wheat $4.50 1/4, up a penny. In the outside markets, June Brent crude oil $74.35. That's down 22 cents a barrel. The June gold contract up $3.90 this morning, $12.83.60. In the livestock market from Thursday, May lean hogs $87.85, down $1.32. June lean hogs down $3, $89.77. April live cattle $124.05, down $2.72. June live cattle down $2.97. $115.37. May feeders $143.55, down $2.97. August feeder cattle $153.25. That's down $3.47. Illinois direct barrels and gilts trading firm on Thursday at 51.260. That's the RFD Ag Market Summary for this Friday morning. I'm Jim Taylor for the RFD Radio Network.
Good morning, this is Dan Hicks from Freeze Notice Weather with the early morning ag weather update on the RFD Radio Network for this Friday morning. Daytime highs in the 60s and 70s were common over a large part of the Midwest yesterday, and most of the region saw some areas of rain and a few thunderstorms. Once again, heaviest rainfall during the past 24 hours occurred in some south central into eastern parts of the Midwest, where some locations picked up a ½ inch to an inch of additional rain, along with a few heavier amounts. This did include some south central and southeastern parts of Illinois also. Farther to the north and west, rainfall was lighter. Any showers will be ending in the eastern part of the state this morning, with drier weather spreading eastward across the Midwest today into tonight. Daytime highs across Illinois today should be mostly in the 60s. The weather pattern will stay quite active across the Midwest this weekend into early next week. Another system will move quickly southeastward into the Midwest this weekend and spread some precipitation across Illinois, starting during the day Saturday and ending Saturday night. It does look like the northern part of the state will pick up greatest precipitation amounts from the weekend system, with some ½ to 1 inch amounts likely in about the northern 1/3 to 1/4 of the state. Some of this precipitation from the far northern border areas of Illinois northward into Wisconsin will fall as some wet snow. Lighter precipitation amounts are expected farther south from the weekend system over the central and southern part of the state. Only a brief dry period is expected behind this system, with more precipitation spreading into the western Midwest on Sunday and across the region into early next week. It does look like several weather systems will bring rain chances to the region next week into the 6 to 10 day time frame, with near to above normal 6 to 10 day precipitation expected in most areas. Temperatures will average below normal during the 6 to 10 day period northwest of Illinois and above normal to the southeast. I'm Dan Hicks from Freeze Notice Weather.
Hello, I'm Trooper Teal with the Illinois State Police. April is Distracted Driving Awareness Month. According to the most recent report from the National Highway Safety Administration, 394,450 people were either injured or killed in distracted driving-related incidents. Avoid distractions while driving, such as talking on your cell phone, texting, eating, and even adjusting the radio. Wear your seatbelt and remember to just drive.
A message from the Illinois Farm Bureau and the Illinois State Police.
Warmer weather means a longer honey-do list. Your County Farm Bureau can help you stay on top of your project list and save you money along the way. A Farm Bureau membership offer includes discounts on equipment and supplies from Grainger, plus free shipping on all standard Grainger products. Browse thousands of items from landscaping equipment to power tools. Anything you need to get the job done, Grainger has it. Not a Farm Bureau member? Call us at 309-557-2689. or visit Illinois Farm Bureau online and join today.
Are you preparing for planting season? We don't mean to be a pest, but here's a few things you need to know before you grow. The Illinois Department of Agriculture now requires special local needs labels, including new restrictions for the use of herbicide dicamba on top of soybeans in Illinois for the 2019 growing season. Did you know these additional restrictions go beyond federally approved labels? Remember, the label is the law. To find out more about these Illinois-specific labels, visit ilfb.org/label-aware.
Farm Week and FarmWeekNow.com journalist Dina Stroish connects rural routes for you. From the Farm Bill to crop insurance to GMO labeling, her expertise is apparent in the stories she reports. Here's a bit about her rural roots.
I get to meet interesting people and share their stories, and I get paid to do it. I cover ag policy and really enjoy keeping the farming community updated on these important issues.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
Hey, that'll do it for RFD Illinois on a Friday.
How about meadows? What do you think about meadows?
Almost. It's springtime, frolicking.
Meadows.
If I think of meadows, I think of frolic, right?
Yeah.
Running and skipping through the meadow.
Meadows, Illinois, McLean County.
So it's one of those, if you blink, you miss it. But if you're on 24 between El Paso and Fairbury, there's an actual place called Meadows. We say hello.
Hello.
Sponsored by Country Financial. Your farm is your family's legacy and part of your hometown heritage. While you work sun up to sundown to get the job done, we're here protecting the things you love every step of the way. Learn more at Country Financial or at countrycrop.com.
For Jim Taylor, I'm Rita Frazier.
I'm DeLoss Yankee. Have a great day.